David Poland here with David Reads the Trades. It is Cinco de Mayo, 2026. Happy May 5th. May the 5th be Hispanic. And welcome to the show. It's another thin a day at the newsstand. However, the most important news, which I'm going to start with, because even though it's not the number one story on the trades, I got to say it's the most important story in the world, is it's over. It's finally over. Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni finally gave up on bludgeoning each other to death in public for no good reason. Um, it's been a long time. It took a long time. It's almost now a 2-year cycle of going on and on and on and on and on about this, even though they have this massive hit and now they've hurt each other's careers in a very dramatic way. It's been ridiculous. It's been unfortunate. It has been brutal and unpleasant. It has been loaded with people saying incredibly stupid things, particularly those who support Justin Baldoni's position in this. Though I will say, I have never said and never really believed that he was a sexual abuser of any kind. Um, just a bit of an asshole, which is fine and not unusual at all in Hollywood, not even remotely unusual in Hollywood. So, congratulations on it being over. I mean, it took them way too long. They've both taken body blows for no good reason, month after month after month after month, just because they're continuing to have this fight, which is um, petty and small. And as I've said before, and I will continue to offer, um, really everything that happened that was really a problem that needed that kind of drew everything into the public happened in basically a 6-week period, right before and then slightly just after the opening of It Ends With Us, which was a shockingly big hit. Um, Anyway, it was a shockingly big hit, and, sorry, I was reading Kelsey's note, and I will comment on it a bit later. Anyway, point is, they've done nothing but hurt each other. I understand why Blake Lively and her team were really angry at Baldoni. I understand why Baldoni was paranoid about Blake Lively and felt like he had been pushed out, but the fact is he had a bigger hit, under her thumb than he would have otherwise, most likely. Um and whether he ever works again is another real question, because as far as I can tell, even though there's now uh, emails from one of the Sony executives saying that she was damaging herself, so there is that. Baldoni, in my opinion, went against the actual rules of Sony that they have laid out and kind of pushed the envelope in the wrong direction. And I wouldn't trust him with a campaign at this point. I wouldn't trust him on a set with. I mean, the set is fine, but I would be worried about what his kind of like. I mean, he is a stereotype beyond all stereotypes, and you know what? She has become a stereotype beyond all stereotypes, and I don't. I think his. Well, I don't know what I don't. Who I was pulled into this very early because I was one of the interviews that she did that was posted and positioned as somehow an indication of how horrible she was, which is not what I felt about the interview. Another colleague in this business had an interview with her, and she kind of reveled in the idea that she hated Blake Lively on some level as a result of their intercourse, of their interaction, and went after her and became part of the story more than I certainly did. I didn't really at all, except for being brought up a number of times in a couple major papers. Anyway, point is that I'm glad it's over. Was ugly, it was unnecessary, and it was stupid. Okay. Kelsey asked the question this morning. Good morning. Have you considered doing these live on YouTube? The Substack streams have a lot of lag at times. Um, I don't. I certainly had issues with this thing here, but it is where my podcast, my regular column is, um, and I've done it actually on YouTube a couple. When I was starting to do it early on, I did a couple things on YouTube, and didn't love that experience for myself. But maybe I don't know. I don't know. It's a weird thing. What I did find also is that I have about 140,000 followers on my YouTube channel. because of DP30, which is my half-hour interview show, which I've done for many years, um, which I don't do much of anymore or at all anymore, really. And those people seem to drop off of my the list of subscribers when I did this there on a daily basis. So I'm not sure exactly how to manage keeping the thing separate and whatever. And apparently, it pushes to YouTube Shorts or something automatically. It's I honestly just not paying enough attention. Anyway, okay, moving along in the news besides myself, the Tony Awards were announced today. It's a really weird year for the Tony Awards because there are so few musicals. That has been an issue all season long in terms of new musicals, and that's been the issue. Um, Topping the roster, according to deadlines, take the Lost Boys and Schmigadoon each had 12 nominations, followed by Ragtime, Arthur Miller's Death of a Salesman, Cats, to Jellica Ball, and the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which had all of those had 9, or the last 3 of those had 9. Um, so it's a very small season, interestingly enough, on Broadway. What else? Is there details? So, Best Plays, Ballabusters, which is a David Lindsay Bear piece, Giant, which is about Roald Dahl, which also was great in London. Little Bear Ridge Road, which has been much acclaimed, was produced by Scott Rudin and Barry Diller, to everybody's consternation, starring Laurie Metcalf, as is or she I don't know if she's in lead or supporting in terms of Death of a Salesman, but she's there also, and Liberation by Bess Wall. So there's those. Then Best Musical, they have The Lost Boys, Schmigadoon, Titanic, Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. So that was that. Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Play, Rose Byrne, Carrie Coon, Susanna Flood, Leslie Manville, and Kelly O'Hara. So that's a pretty highfalutin group. All things considered, Best Performance by an Actor in a Leading Role in a Play, Will Harrison in Punch, Nathan Lane in Death of a Salesman, John Lithgow in Giant, Daniel Radcliffe in Every Brilliant Thing, and Mark Strong in Oedipus. No real surprises there. Best Performance by an Actress in a Leading Role in a Musical, as relatively non-celebrity or non Broadway celebrity even stars, but as the others had stars. Sarah Chase in Schmigadoon, Cassie Levy in Ragtime, Maria Mindell in Titanic, and Christina Pitts in Two Strangers, and then Stephanie Hugh, who's best known for movies, is in Rocky Horror Picture Show playing Janet. Performance by an actor in a leading role in a musical, Nicholas Christopher in Chess. So I guess that means that what's her name in Chess? Former Glee actress is not there. She's the one who did that, I believe. Luke Evans for playing playing Frankenfooter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Joshua Henry in Ragtime, Sam Tootie in Two Strangers, and Brian Uranovitz in Ragtime. Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Play, Betsy Aldom, Mary Louise Burke, Aya Cash, who people know, who's in Giant and is best known for television work here in America, Laurie Metcalf in Death of a Salesman, supporting, yes, and June Squibb in Marjorie Prime. Marjorie Prime. It's interesting because it seems like they kind of mixed and matched and didn't do the revival thing. They seem to have, put I guess maybe they've done that, had people in revivals and mixed in with everybody else. Best Performance by an Actor in a Feature Role in a Play, Chris Abbott in Death of a Salesman, Danny Burstein in Marjorie Prime, which is also a reload. Brendan J. Durden in Waiting for Godot, Alden Ehrenreich and Becky Shaw, Ruben Santiago Hudson and Joe Turner's Come and Gone, and Richard Thomas in The Boosters. Haven't seen Richard Thomas in a while, but he's still active and great. Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Musical, Shoshana Bean in The Lost Boys, Hannah Cruz in Chess, Rachel Dratch as the narrator in Rocky Horror, and a guest star for Schmigadoon, going in a slot that, of course, that show was famously a lot of SNL people involved, and Nichelle Lewis in Ragtime. Best Performance by an Actor in a Musical, Ali Louis Bourgouz, I don't know how to pronounce it, my apologies, The Lost Boys, Andre DeShields, the great and ever Andre DeShields in Cats the Jellicle Ball, Bryce Pinkham in Chess, Ben Levi Ross in Ragtime, Layton Williams in Titanic. Best revival, Death of a Salesman, Becky Shaw, Every Brilliant Thing, Fallen Angels, and Oedipus. Best revival of a musical, Cats the Jellicle Ball, which is really a rethink. Ragtime, the Rocky Horror Picture Show, only three there. Yeah, the best directors this year, Heitner, Kenny Leon, Joe Mantello, and then Whitney White and Robert Icky or Eek. I don't know how to pronounce his name either. Best direction of musical, I actually don't know any of these guys. I guess I know Michael Arden, but Lear de Bessonnet, who did Ragtime, Christopher Gattelli, who did Schmigadoon, Tim Jackson, Two Strangers, and Zalian Levington and Bill Roche for Cats the Jellicle Ball. So new people kind of like rising on Broadway. This is our future. This is the future of the theater. Very much. Thank you very much. Um, anyway, enough of that. Let's see. Is there anything else I really want to note here? Not really. Lot of things. So that's the Tony Award. To the red carpet and fashion Super Bowl. I personally pay any attention to Bezos so much as plenty of photographs, plenty of video before. I'm gonna just kind of me bump.